So this is a Lunar Venus 620, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van you've got your hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker you've got your gas regulator on the bulkhead, and you've got your gas pipe work coming down to the bottle. The pipe work that goes into the bottle is a reverse thread fitment, so you turn it the opposite way to a normal thread to release it from the caravan. And on top you've got your on-off valve for your gas essentially. Open is on, closed is off. You do need to make sure when you're travelling that the gas bottle is turned off on the valve on top of the bottle. You've got 2 gas bottle tie downs. You can carry a maximum of 2 6-kilogram propane gas bottles at any time on board the van. On the side of the caravan you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan. You'd wind the legs down, put them down on the ground so they're touching. You wouldn't lift the caravan, as if you do it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. Then got your Truma heating and hot water flow. This is basically the same as what you got on the side of your house for your heating system. You don't need to do anything with it, you don't cover it up, you leave it open at all times, and I'd advise you don't touch it while it's being used, as it does get very hot. You've then got your water filter in the top here, and this blue cap. Take the cap off and pull the filter out. And down below you've got your water pump connection. You've got a blue trigger here, release the pump from the side of the caravan, push it into place to lock it in, and the blue trigger holds the pump in place, and the pump itself will drop down inside the ack roll. You've got a dog shower here should you ever wish to use it, or dog shower attachment should I say. Battery box, you've got your 110 amp leisure battery in there with your mains power lead coming to the side of the van, and in the back behind the blue plug there you've also got your motor mover power switch for the movers themselves. Motor mover, you can't quite see it here, this is where it's positioned. However, we'll demonstrate that while you're here on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts to the correct setting so you know they have been tightened properly. Grey waste pipes coming out the side of the caravan. So the fresh water goes in the front and the waste water comes out the side down here. Essentially you have 2 bits of grey pipe that go into the larger diameter circles, and they'll drop down inside your waste master. Back of the caravan you have your toilet flush tanks. You'd open this up and you put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. Then in the bottom, so the toilet flush tank looks like this, and you put the water in through here. And in the bottom you have your toilet waste cassette, which you release by pulling out the blue handle below. The neck here turns out so you can tip the waste away. The blue cap here is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid, and on the back of this cassette you'll find a blue button just at the back here. When you press that blue button in and you're tipping the waste away, it'll allow the waste to drain out without it spitting and splattering back at you. In that cassette you'll need to put 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. On the rear of the caravan on either side, haven't got the legs down at the moment, but they will be down for the purpose of handover. Again, you wouldn't lift the caravan up with these, you would just stabilise the caravan with the wind down legs. On the door side of the caravan you've got your 2 fridge vents. Now, the 2 fridge vents are very simply there to allow hot air out the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. And also on the top right hand side here there is also a gas flue for the fridge system. Down the front side of the van you've also got your last wind down leg to stabilise the van. Going inside of the caravan now, we have the main control panel above the door. So you've got your master power switch. So as you saw on the outside, we've got mains power plugged in. This is also the same switch as what you'd use if you were just running off the 12-volt battery system that is on the caravan. Interior lights in the roof and your awning light on the outside. Leisure battery is what we need to be on at the moment because we're running the 12-volt systems on board the caravan. If you're running from the vehicle battery, so the car you're essentially towing with, obviously we're not connected to a car at the moment, you'd come inside, turn the control panel on and hit the vehicle voltage, and that'll allow you to run your fridge as a cool box while you're travelling down the road. First thing you're going to need to do is before we do anything else, is fill the water system up on board the caravan. So underneath the seat on the front right hand side, and as you can see on the outside we've already got the ack roll connected. come underneath this seat and we're going to find the yellow valve on the floor. That yellow valve is the drain down valve for the caravan. If that valve is parallel with the floor, you'll be able to fill the water system up on board the caravan. If that valve is upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, all of the water on board the caravan would drain back out onto the floor underneath. So like I said, that valve needs to be parallel with the floor prior to filling the system. Underneath here also, you have your 12 volt system shut down, so you can completely shut the power down should you wish to by pressing that button and it'll pop up. You've got your power for your space heater on board the caravan and your power for your charger on board the caravan. You need to make sure all of these switches are on prior to doing anything on board the van, as it won't operate correctly if they are not turned on. In here also, you also have your 12 volt fuses for the 12 volt systems on board the van, with a list here of what each one is for. And on the right hand side here, we have our 240 trip switches. Now, a good way of testing to see if we have mains power coming into the caravan from the site is by pressing the test button just here, and as you can see, nothing is happening. What that means is there is no 240 volt power source coming from this caravan site we are on. If that tripped down when I press the test switch like it has now, or like I've just pushed it down, sorry, that would mean there is power coming into the caravan. So that means you have all the power that you need to run the 240 and 12 volt systems. Like I said, if that isn't coming on like it isn't at the moment, then it means there is no power turned on the site itself. So as you'll be able to see now we have the power turned on site. The lights come on the heating system switch and the charger switch, and then when I hit the test button, the power trips off. So like I said, the yellow valve is parallel with the floor, as we originally started with underneath there. We're then going to come over to every tap on board the caravan. I'm just going to do the kitchen sink for now, but you would, when you're on site, use every tap to do this. You'd open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. As you can see, there's no water coming through at the moment. We'll then come to the control panel above the door, hit the water pump switch. And as the water pressure builds, the water is going to start running out of every tap continuously. So once it starts running out of every tap continuously, you can shut all of the taps back off, and that is the water system full and ready to use. At that point, we can come to the other control panel above the door, which is the Truma heating and hot water control panel. Press the button in the centre and it will take you into the actual options for the caravan. Here on the end, if we press the button again, you've got your room temperature. The caravan with a thermometer in it is the room temperature. You spin the dial to the relevant temperature, then hit the central button again, and that will set the temperature inside of the caravan. So at the moment, we've got the heating set to 20 degrees of temperature. If I spin the dial to the right again, to the thermometer in the waves here, which is the water heater, press the central button again. You've got off, eco, which is around 40 degrees, hot, which is 60 degrees of water temperature, and boost for showering. Again, to set the water temperature, hit the central button and it will start warming up to the desired water temperature. If I spin the dial to the right, to this icon here, this is to indicate the amount of power we want to use electric-wise on the heating and hot water, or if we want to use gas on its own. So you've got gas as a power source. It will self-ignite on gas, as long as the gas bottle's turned on in the front locker, and you simply do that by, again, selecting gas, pressing inwards. If it fails to ignite, it'll come up with a warning on the screen just to let you know it has failed to ignite. If it does do that, all you need to do is go to the lockers, make sure that the front locker, make sure the gas bottle's turned on, and we'd also advise that you ignite the hob to make sure you got gas through to every point of the system on board the caravan. So, in here also you got mix 1, which is 1000 watts of power from the site you're on and gas at the same time. Mix 2, 2000 watts of power and gas at the same time. Electric 1, which is 1000 watts of electric coming into the caravan on its own. And electric 2, 2000 watts of power of electric coming into the caravan on its own. On the end here, we have the fan symbol. Now the fan symbol is for your blown air heating. You've got eco or high on this particular caravan. So you can either set the fan speed as low or high, depending on how you want the air to blow around the caravan. So that is very similar to what you have in your car for your fans, etc. that cut up on your dash. So if we select high, the fans will kick in at their highest setting as the caravan warms up. Down the bottom here, you've got 3 other symbols. Now, we don't go through this in the video. We do advise for these that you read the manuals that come with the caravan. The reason being, if I try to explain them in the video, it'll probably take me around 2 to 3 hours. So you've got timers for your heating and hot water. You've got the clock for the control panel, and you've got some advanced settings on the right hand side here. Also, you've got a plug symbol to indicate mains power coming into the van itself. The next thing I'm going to take you through is the cooking area. So the microwave is actually a eco microwave, so it turns itself off in between each use. So if you hit the eco button, the microwave will wake up. That is as long as you've got mains power coming into the van. Hob, grill, hob and oven, all very much the same as your household appliances. There is actually a grill in the top of here as well. And you've got your igniter on the front, as you'd expect to see. So that is your cooking appliances. Next up, we have the fridge. Sorry, just creating some space so I can get in. On the top left hand side here, you've got your option, or on the top left hand side of the fridge, you've got your option for the power source you want to use. First of all, the first one you come to is 240 mains. So if you're connected to mains power on site, you'd use the mains power to operate the fridge. You can control the temperature of the fridge on the dial on the right hand side here. Obviously, the thicker the bar is here, the colder the fridge will be. If you're towing down the road and you want to use the fridge as a cool box once you're connected to your car, you can connect up to the car, come inside the van, select your vehicle battery above the door, and then you would put it onto the 12 volt mode on here, and the fridge, like I said, will just work as a cool box. It won't completely chill the fridge, however, it will just cool it enough to get the beer and wine cold. Down to the bottom here, we have our option to run gas. Now, to operate the gas, you have 3 buttons. You have 2 buttons on this side and a little window here, which indicates your pilot light. The red line that you're seeing here is essentially your pilot light. So when that comes around into the green, it means the fridge has ignited. But to ignite it, you'll press in the temperature valve and hit the igniter at the same time. You'll hear the clicking start, as you'd expect to hear on a cooker. And as you can see, that red line is coming around into the green. You'll continue to hold in the gas valve once that red line's in the green for around 5 to 10 seconds. Obviously, I'm not going to hold it that long. And then you're going to slowly release the gas valve, and the fridge should be ignited on gas. To turn the gas supply back off to the fridge, use the dial on the opposite side, and as soon as I turn it, it turns back off. As you can see, the red line has now dropped down into the white again. Last thing we're going to go through on this particular caravan is the toilet system in the bathroom. Very easy to use toilet system. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience, as you can see. However, when you're removing the cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure it's pointing straight forwards towards the wall. If it is turned, it will actually stop you from taking the cassette out from underneath the van. You've got a pump flush for the toilet system, so you'll pump it up and down here to flush your toilet. And down the front of the toilet, you'll see this grey handle just here. To allow the waste into the cassette underneath the van, you'll actually push this grey handle towards the outer wall. You can't actually see at the moment, I do apologise, it's a bit hard to see. But you'll push that handle towards the outer wall, or the back wall, sorry, to allow the waste into the cassette. Again, if you try and remove the cassette with that waste flap open, it will actually stop you from doing that. So you need to make sure that waste flap is back in the centre. So that is the Lunar Venus 620. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.